Why am I a Christian? Good question. Simply put, I could tell you that my reason for being a Christian is because I've never known anything different. Growing up in a Christian family meant that all I knew was Christianity. My dad being a pastor, as well as both of my granddads, means that I've always understood the importance of following Jesus. The difference was that I had not distinguished my parents' faith from my own. I started to understand that I do not get a pass from the struggles in life because I'm a pastor's kid. Social anxiety has clouded my life since I was little. Being bullied and outcast from the other kids had been a big factor in this. Every morning before school, I would wake up feeling sick to my stomach with anxiety. If I could go to school without being sick, I would count that as a bonus start to my day. This eventually crept into my life outside of school too. I was too scared to walk into a shop by myself, and it ended up being so bad that I would not go anywhere alone. I had wondered why no one else had the same feeling, why everything was so easy for people but me. I had never felt complete peace in my life, and I was trying to fill that void in the wrong way. I started to become depressed alongside anxious. My life as I knew it was a burden, and living it became a chore. Friendships and relationships around me were crumbling, so much so my worth was put in how people viewed me, yet no one truly loved me enough for that to mean something. Even though I believed in God, I had not come to understand that my faith in God also meant to have a relationship with Him. So I had felt like there was no real light at the end of this tunnel. My only real way of dealing with this was to harm myself. If I had no true purpose or worth in life, then surely I deserved this treatment. This period of my life truly became my darkest and lowest moment, and I was only 13 years old. You may be wondering why I'm still a Christian when I went through all of this. Well, amongst all this chaos and confusion, I felt my only real distraction from all the trials of life was my youth group. Going to Christian summer camps had given me a week to escape from my reality and be surrounded by people who preached love and kindness. At 14, I had still never had a proper encounter with God, but that week in summer completely changed the way I viewed my faith. God's presence had filled me so greatly, all my hurt that was built up was overpowered by this peace that I had never experienced before. From that week onwards, I had decided that the way I lived out my faith journey was going to be different. I had made a choice to give my life over to God because navigating it my own way was leading me into a darker world. While life did not change drastically overnight, God had shone the light into my dark tunnel, and I was finally seeing the hope that other Christians around me would talk about. Yes, I still struggled with anxiety, but I was free from the chains of self-harm, and had truly accepted God into my life. My faith had finally become my own. 5 years later, and I still have anxiety. The difference is that 5 years ago anxiety ruled my identity, but today I know my worth in Jesus. Secondly, while I sometimes still struggle, I have also never felt so much peace. I have learned in my faith journey that the reason my anxiety wasn't getting any better was because I was allowing it to become my whole personality. I was allowing it to consume me and decide who I was becoming. But the Bible teaches that it is the opposite. Like David faced Goliath, we have to face our own giants. I have to face it in faith because otherwise it defines me, and anxiety doesn't define me, God does. The Bible teaches in 1 John 12 that those who believe in Him are children of God. Christianity has shown me that my worth is in who God says I am and made me to be, and not those around me. Not only did God's light brighten the darkness of my life, but I now understand that I have a purpose and a plan for my life that shows how worthy I am of love and kindness. God saved my life and set me free. I am forever grateful of that. I finally ventured off from relying on my family's faith and found my own. God had truly grown me in confidence from this anxious little girl to a thriving and flourishing woman of God. Seeing how I was when anxiety consumed me compared to now, there is no way that this transformation was done in my own strength, without God. He was there every step. He saved me, He loved me, He grew me. How can I not believe in Him? I pray this encourages someone else, and if any of you have struggled or are struggling with things that I've talked about in there, you are seen, you are loved, and you can always message me. I've never really mentioned this on here before, but I have a weekly newsletter, the app that I use is called Substack, where I send out something every Friday about faith, questions about faith, thoughts and feelings around faith. And that was my first one I ever wrote. And so if you want to read things like that or see what I write, you can subscribe to my Substack and it will send you something every Friday. If you go to my Instagram, which is linked in my TikTok bio, you can then go to the link in my Instagram bio and it will come up. It's the top link and it will be there. So yeah, but that's my testimony. Hope you enjoyed.